But I grew up around Paisanos, around guys from Mexico. They taught me the game. I learned from them a lot. They taught me how to make money in the street. And I made money for years doing it. For years and years and years. One thing about that lifestyle, you get addicted to it. It's not only addicting for the people doing the drugs, but it's addicting for the drug dealer. I lived, ate, sleep, breathed, pissed, shitted that lifestyle 24/7 for the better part of 20 years. Give or take a couple years, 18. 20 just sounds like a round number though. So I always, 20 years, but I give or take like 18 years strong. And for 18 of those years, I was probably doing well for about a good 6 or 7 years, right? And out of those 12 years, I had to learn how to do certain things, because when you're dabbling with agents looking at you, trying to get you, regular cops, people trying to rob you, your own wife turning on you, sending people to fucking rob you because you're divorcing her because you don't want to deal with her bullshit. That lifestyle is nothing to glorify, but it was an experience. Being almost 15 years removed from that lifestyle that we lived, breathed, eat, sleep, shit, pissed. And those who know me know I'm telling the truth. They know Rob. I'm doing well these days, right? I haven't been affiliated with any of that, and I don't ever want to go back to it. I never will. There's no value in it to me these days. Being a father, I don't have the same mindset that I had 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So what I learned is people will say whatever they gotta say. It was a long fucking epilogue, right? My bad. But what I wanted to get to is people will say whatever they have to say to get what they want, right? There's people that will do that. There's people that will keep on with the same shit that ain't got them nowhere. And I mean, it's like destroying things for them. They'll keep on with the same habits. They'll keep on with the same talking smack, with the same disrespect, when they live most of their life that way and it hasn't got them anywhere. But they'll continue to do it. People will say whatever they have to say to get whatever it is they need and want. In the hood, in everyday world, in everyday life. But I learned that in the hood to the motherfucking T. I learned it to the utmost level, to where I can walk in a room and I can read the room within 3 to 4 or 5 seconds. Whoever's in it, I can feel everybody's energy, and I know who's who. Especially when we start to get talking for a couple of minutes, I'll definitely know who's who. And that's a gift that I learned in the street. I don't think I was born with that. I learned that in the street. It kept me safe. It kept me out of shit. I was never busted for drugs. Never had to rat on anybody to get out of anything. Never had to go to court and rat on somebody because I got fucking caught up with shit and couldn't do my time. So there's not many dudes like me, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but what I'm saying is there's not many dudes like me that can tell my story, because I am Fresno, California, born and raised, but I was raised with Mexican values. Because my mom and dad, they treated us, the culture lived at home with my mom and my dad. They spoke to us in English and Spanish, although Spanish and English are European languages, but we didn't know the native Nahuatl, right? All we knew was what was the recently native language, which was Spanish. And some people are always talking shit about, oh, I don't have to learn Spanish. And no, you don't. But our immediate ancestors to Mexico, that's how they keep in contact, is Spanish. So if you don't learn that language and they don't learn English, you're never gonna learn. I knew Spanish at a young age. That's why I was able to transition over really, really quick with these guys from Mexico when I was 15, 16 and met them. And they're the ones who started coaching me and training me, let's say, about the game. How you work your way up. How you pay your dues. How you do your thing. You keep your nose clean. How you don't show your money. How you don't go out and show off and buy expensive stuff. How you keep your mouth shut. How you don't show. My dad taught me this about how you don't show your weapon. You don't ever show your guns. You don't show your money. There's 3 things you don't show: your weapons, your guns. Excuse me. Three things you don't show: your women, your guns, and your money. Nobody should know nothing about that. Yet in the culture we live in now, it's the opposite. Everybody's showing their weapons, showing their money. Their women are fucking practically naked on OnlyFans, some of them getting fucked for money. Prostitution has become nothing. OnlyFans is digital space age prostitution. That's all it is. Space age prostitution, my friends. That's all that shit is. It's no different than a bitch standing on the corner. The only difference is physically, you're not out there. That's it. But as far as everything else, that is still what you're doing. You're still a space age prostitute, space age hooker. All these things that started in the gutters of the United States is what molded a lot of these little neighborhoods and these poor towns and these poor cities and poor areas. And it's survival mode, doing whatever you have to do to make your money to be able to live, is what it comes down to. So when I was in the street doing what I was doing, I never looked down on anyone else doing it. I never looked out on prostitution. I never looked down on pimping. I never looked down on it, because that's all I knew was people around me. I knew pimps, I knew hoes, I knew drug addicts, and I knew drug dealers because I was a drug dealer. And I was raised in the drug game by drug dealers. Not the way it is now, that these dudes just go buy a sack from anybody and just start slanging. It's not how it worked. No, you had to know people back then. You had to be directly connected with people that were straight all the way back home. And they would plug you in. And that's how it worked.